We complain that social media is full of nonsense. We complain about the algorithm. We complain about influencers. We complain about government regulation. We complain that nobody is promoting meaningful Nigerian content. But I have a question. What are you contributing to our media and digital spaces? Nigeria has millions of people consuming content across social media, television, radio, social media, books, and other platforms. Yet, we are still largely consumers, not producers, spectators, not creators, commentators, not contributors. And then we wonder why rubbish dominates. Let me tell you something personal. When I started creating content as an educator, I was judged, dragged, insulted, threatened. People had something to say about everything, from my voice to my hair, my appearance to what I was teaching, but I kept going. Eventually, people got used to me. Today, I can proudly say I'm one of those Nigerian educators that people deliberately come online to hear. The lesson: you cannot build a public voice while being paralyzed by public opinion. Many of us want good content, but we don't want to make it. We want people to educate us, but we won't teach. We want people to challenge society, but we won't risk being challenged. We want knowledge in our media, but we behave like knowledge consumers with no intention of becoming knowledge producers. And please, let's stop hiding behind perfection. You don't need a studio. You don't need a podcast microphone. You don't need designer clothes. You don't need cinematic editing. Pick up your phone, speak, teach, write, question, create valuable content. There are free platforms, blogs, YouTube, social media, radio, books. Wikipedia itself depends on people creating and contributing knowledge. Yes, algorithms matter, but algorithms respond to what people create, watch, and reward. So how do we beat the algorithm? We flood it with something better. If 10 thoughtful people refuse to create because they fear being dragged, while 10,000 people produce nonsense every day, guess what our media landscape will look like? Exactly what we gave it. So stop asking, why is the media like this? Ask yourself, what have I put into the world today that I want the next generation to find? There will always be rubbish. The question is whether your voice is strong enough to make something better impossible to ignore.
Let me lay the foundation for Bright.
So I'm about to come in hot.
Because I have a feeling that Bright will disagree with you on some...
It will not be the first time. It will not be the last time.
So let me just...
I'm not here to be agreed with.
Foundation. I think to summarize it, it's probably right to say it's the algorithm stupid. Because sometimes when you think about it, I mean, I love your advocacy. I think that it's spot on. I think the fact is the more you consume a lot of all this rubbish, that's what you bring out. But there's also the part where we have to recognize that this appears to be a systemic design to make sure that people in Africa consume content that is rubbish. Because
I call it weaponization of ignorance.
Because they are weaponizing that content. I think somebody was analyzing the content in terms of time that you see in the typical Nigerian space and what you see in the US. That the people in the US are consuming content, very intellectual content, that you will spend 30 minutes, 1 hour just listening. And they're intellectual, the types, the likes of the Joe Rogans of this world and co. But typically what you find in Africa is 1 minute, 2 minutes kind of content, and most of it is rubbish because the algorithm is intentionally amplifying a lot of all this stuff. So I get it, really, that if we say, for instance, let's produce more content like A Place at the Table. Let's produce more intellectual content that talks about the issues, analyzes them as a lot of intellectual conversation. The question is, if we do that enough, really, will the algorithm
change?
Amplify that? I don't know, but maybe it's worth a try.
I like the fact that you started with, when it comes to Africa, there's a certain way the algorithm is designed. Now, I build technology. I studied computer science in school. I have a company that builds apps. So I understand backends and front ends and algorithm and all of that. But algorithm is a mirror. It's not designed for a certain purpose. It is an infrastructure that rewards time and reaction. So as the content is going through, as you're scrolling through the content, if you spend at least 10, 15 seconds in that content, the algorithm, you train the algorithm that this is the kind of thing that I like. Mm-hmm. So it brings more of that to you. And why is it that in Africa, the case is different? We have a lot of people who are unemployed and are not doing anything, right? There's a way the mind works. When there is a goal or an objective, your brain is automatically driven to find ways to achieve those goals and objectives. So when you're scrolling through social media and you see something that relates to that thing, you spend more time with it. But a lot of us don't have goals or objectives.
Yeah.
We don't.
Yeah.
And so mostly what we do is we go there for entertainment. People go to social media because they're like, I'm tired of the stress. Let me just go and relieve myself. Now, this is where structure comes into play. In other parts of the world, right, there's a particular funding that is designed to support content that has a lot of meaning. So if you're producing a certain kind of content around conversations, around movies or reality TV shows that actually excite young people, you get discounts, you get the government cutting down taxes, you get funding, at least 50% of the funding to be able to help you produce and market it, right? In Nigeria, it's the opposite. Why are we hosting hip awards, which is one of our biggest, like our Grammy, in Canada? Because the sponsors in Nigeria are not paying. The companies that are able to say, okay, our marketing budget, let's put it, where do they put it? On Big Brother. Where do they put it? They give it to these influencers to create more content and put their brand inside.
Never complain about the taste of any soup if you have not contributed any ingredients to the preparation. So I love that, what you just presented. That is, you can't keep on complaining about their throwing bomb, they are showing their boobs and all that when you are doing nothing. That's the summary.
Yeah, even watching and sharing it behind the scene on WhatsApp.
Yes. We can't downplay this. What Bright said, a people without history have no future. We can't be plain and think all is well. As he was talking, I was just playing in my head that it is true. When you go and check what people are looking for on social media, what exactly, do you know that we are so low these days that what we do now is to carry people's family problems to social media and be discussing.
Forgetting that we have our own too.
Forgetting that, thank you. When there are serious social issues, national policy issues that they are supposed to be talking about. So why would the government or why would the leaders take you serious? They will soon be discussing P Square. So for me, I want to support it. Everybody, please, with clean and then educative, social information agenda, please come online.
Nigerian businesswoman slumped in China recently. She was on a business trip to China, and we watched in real time on CCTV how she passed on. She held her chest and then removed her slippers, and the next thing, she collapsed. Where am I going with this story is that there's a lot of ignorance in this society. And the onus is not only on individuals, but also on institutions. Yes. Number two, what is it that our movie makers are infusing into our movies? How many of us can easily tell you how to do CPR? Right? What do we know to do when, because that woman was having she even did a live, and she was saying, "No, I'm tired." A lot of us as citizens in this country don't even know the next thing about health. How many health influencers do we have in Nigeria, and what's the percentage of their visibility?
I think one thing that China also did was policies, right?
Policy is important.
There's
That's
certain things you
Japan.
can't talk about.
Japan, Korea.
Yes.
There are definite
The
policies,
same
yeah.
things you have to talk about without you know, being experienced in that space.
Just do it is a motto we will do well to adopt. Don't wait till things are perfect. Stop criticizing and just do it. Are you ready?